to my channel, Southern Tea. It's your girl, Lady J, back bringing you, the usual, my commentary on the latest female rap tea and rapping news. But before I get into my video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up, comment, share, and since you're here to get a sip of my commentary and tea, subscribe to my channel, baby. So let's go ahead and get into it. So it looks like Nicki Minaj and Contrell have teamed up for yet another collaboration. So Young Boy has dropped a new album entitled My I Got a Family, which nigga, yo ass been had a family, all them 10, 11 children you got running around here, my boy, okay? But nah, he cool in my book. Anyway, like I say, he and the Queen of Rap have teamed up for yet another collaboration because they collaborated back in 2020 on Mike Will Made It with that Speed Bout. So Contrell and Nicki have a song on his new album. It's called I Admit, and in my most humble opinion, the shit is fire. So the sound, the production, the melody, the flows, the lyrics, I mean, everything was giving for me. So Nicki started off her verse singing, and y'all can say what y'all want about Nicki when it comes to singing, but I love when Nicki sings. She may not hold a note like Beyonce, Ariana, or Mariah or anything, but sis can hold a tune, and she did take singing classes when she was a teenager. She went to a performing arts or a fine art school, so it's not like she trying to sing with heavy auto-tune or anything. It sounded fire, and she took off rapping on it, and sis slid per usual. She slid the fuck down like a roller coaster, child, and I loved everything about her verse. I loved everything about the song. It's really like a ghetto love song if I had to use so many words to describe it, and I love that type shit. I'm here for a gangster love story over a melodic type beat. Now, Nicki gon' come with the bars and them shots. So Nicki had fans in Twitter in a frenzy because some of her lyrics on this song, she was taking some shots. So she said, go against me, wear your suicide letter, bitch wanna kill thyself, then I let her, okay? So she's saying, let her like the thing you send in the mail, and then let her like let that bitch do it if she wants to. So that's the homophone for the slow hoes in the back. So so she basically saying going against her, it's gonna cost you. Like she said, don't make love. So if the bitches want to commit career suicide, then Nicki gonna let them, and that's on period. Because Scratch Off basically killed her own career last week when she called herself disrespecting the queen. She might be hot now, but that Onika voodoo is something else, child. But let's continue. So she went on to say, soon as he say it's go time, I get her, told that bitch bow down when I met her. So this is a Beyonce reference. Beyonce had a 2011 song called Bow Down she had to release to remind the new bitches in the game, hey hoes, I'm here, I'm still the queen, thank you. So Nicki letting Scratch Off and any other new rap bitch who seems to have forgotten who the hell she is, she letting them know, ho, you can bow down. And of course she bowed down herself to Lauryn Hill because Lauren, Wayne, Foxy, and Jay are her biggest musical inspirations. Now, I don't think she should be bound down to nobody but the Lord, if you ask me. But anyway, let's continue. So she went on to say, you an amateur hoe, I'm in the league, point guard, tongue out, oh, look at that speed. And of course, an amateur is someone who is not a professional, but more so a rookie or inexperienced in a new profession. And Latto is young and is still pretty fresh into her career. So the rookie, she's a rookie, whereas Nicki is a vet. So she's the point guard in the game, which means she's the best because the point guard is the best dribbler, the best passer. So those few lines alone have plenty of bars, but she had the bars throughout the song, and her verse probably went over so many people's heads. In fact, she started off her verse by alluding to the King Von and Young Boy situation when she said, I know you slime, I know you ain't lacking, you violent, them niggas ran down on your homie, now you sliding. So she was referring to NBA Young Boy's friend because before Von died, it's alleged he got into it with Young Boy's crew, including rapper Quando Rondo. And of course, Von and Contrell were beefing prior to his death, and earlier this year, Young Boy got called out by Lil Durk for dissing Von in a song earlier this year. So I wonder how Lil Durk feel about that, child. Then she even alluded to Offset allegedly getting that chain snatched by Lil Baby and his crew because she said, hey, yo, and we still on that get back, popping chains, don't give shit back. And just the other week, we saw Nicki tweet love Lil Baby when Akbar and Cardi was going at it on Twitter about 2 weeks ago. And when Akbar mentioned that Offset got his chain snatched by Lil Baby and his crew, that's when we saw Nicki tweet love Lil Baby. So, like I said, she had plenty of bars. I thought the song was fire, and I can't wait until Nicki drops her next single. She has been so consistent and been feeding us all 22, and I am here for it. So let me know if you listen to the song and how you like it, and what you thought about them shots Nicki fired off to cheat and Scratch Off's ass, child. Okay. Now, the next topic I want to get into is Latto being called out on Twitter for stealing her lyrics. So fans are noticing and highlighting that in Latto's It's Giving song, she says, "Lady in the streets, but a free coat in the bed." And Nicki Minaj said the same exact thing word for word in the remix The Whole Lotta Choppers with her inside a baby. But I mean, are we surprised? Nicki said in Chun-Li that these bitches copy every word and every inch. So that might shock y'all, but not me though, okay? Even Cardi has used recycled Nicki lyrics, or better yet, should I say Party, since that's the mastermind behind Cardi's lyrics, no tea, all shade. Now, there is also another line in It's Giving where she copied Nicki's verse in Ludacris's My Chick Bad remix when Nicki said, "I'm in that wham bam purple lamb, damn bitch, you been a fan." And Latto has been a fan. Clearly, now her ass is an op. But Latto said the same thing in It's Giving. She said, "I'm in that wham bam brand new lamb, pull up, hop out, shut it down." So this whole song is starting to seem like she had Nicki Minaj in mind, because she had the Barbs drag her and made Nicki look at her funny when she said, "It's giving coke," knowing that's the same saying or phrase that Nosy Ho was using, and the reason why Nicki is currently filing a lawsuit against that ass. Like Nicki said, if she had people on her team who really cared for her, they would have told her saying that is not going to benefit her, more so when it comes to her relationship with Nicki Minaj. But let's cut the shit. Latto's grown. She's 23, finna be 24. I'm 25. I just turned 25, so this hoe know what the fuck she doing. She grown. Now, Nicki is not the only one whose fans have claimed Latto stole lyrics from. Fans are saying she also used Iggy Azalea's lyrics, because Iggy said in a song, "Pussy power, pay me by the hour. I need me a brave heart, can't deal with the coward. I tell him if he ain't ballin', he should hit the showers." And Latto said this in a 2018 song called Bounce. So she said, "Pussy power, I hope he could last an hour. A, fuck me out the towel, fresh up out the shower." So with Iggy's, she seems to have remixed or tweaked it a bit, but it is essentially the same thing. So again, girls love recycled Nicki lyrics and try to copy every word and every inch, even when they try to substitute the word or another synonym, and it's still the same rhyming scheme, like in the case with Iggy Azalea. So it seems like Latto been using other people's lyrics, which makes me wonder if that girl, I think her name was like Big Endo, she is a rapper out of Cleveland. This is making me start to wonder if she was actually onto something after all, because last year, if you don't recall, she came out and called Latto out for using not only her look but her beats to her song, and Latto did clap back at her and went pretty hard on her. Even though Big Endo said nothing disrespectful, Latto highlighted her monthly Spotify listeners and basically called her a nobody because nobody really knew who she was, which I did not like this, because just because someone is less known does not mean someone who is bigger can't come along and get inspired. And of course, when they take from that person, people are not going to know the smaller person or creator it came from. We see this all the time on social media like TikTok, even on YouTube, between YouTubers, even on IG blogs, or even between businesses. Bigger businesses take from smaller businesses all the time, just like the rich rob the poor. And I personally think Latto was inspired by this girl, just like she was inspired by Nicki and Iggy. So let me know what your thoughts are on that below. Now, the next topic I want to get into is Cardi B being shaded by her own brother-in-law's child, okay? The remaining duo of the Migos, Takeoff and Quavo. So they were asked during a Drink Champs interview to choose between Nicki and Cardi, and this is what was said.
Yeah, I believe.
Nicki or Cardi B? Not me, y'all. This is mad. I'm taking a shot. I'm sinister shit,
man. I'm gonna say Nicki.
Yeah, see, I was gonna say the same thing though. That's crazy.
So let me know what you think. Personally, I find it annoying when interviewers do this, because people get interviewed and they feed into it every time, and it's a setup, because it's a setup for Cardi, if you ask me, because when it comes to the rap shit, Cardi can't hold a candle to Nicki Minaj, and everybody knows this, whether they want to admit it or not. And I hate how they just ask Cardi or Nicki with like no context. It's just very vague, like say who's the best rapper, or who would you prefer to collaborate with, or if you're going to ask a question like that, because the way they frame the question just comes off as messy, and they grown as fuck. They grown men at that. Anyway, as far as their response, I'm not really surprised. ties, especially since they are no longer cool with Offset due to unloyalty, according to Quavo. So because of that, now they can, you know, be honest. But let's keep it a buck. During the hate train, it was Cardi, sis is this, and Cardi is sis and that. And they would have chosen Cardi over Nicki in a heartbeat in 2018. And honestly, Quavo really ignited this whole beef between Nicki Minaj and Cardi B. So here his flip-flopping ass come trying to kiss the feet of the queen again. But honestly, he needs to keep Nicki's name out his mouth, because he did not defend Nicki when he had the chance to prove her innocence in that motorsport situation. He allowed her to get clowned and then dissed her on his album, and he exposed them hooking up because, you know, they had a little thing going on in 2018. He was new boy, as Nicki called it back then, and he claimed to have done some things and skeeted on her face, and that was just completely disrespectful. He mocked her at his listening party all because she didn't want to go public with this nigga. But I believe they honestly always felt that way with Nicki being the better rapper, especially Takeoff. He just never said shit. He swore on the Bible he wouldn't tell if he had a chance with Nicki on Motorsport, so you know his ass was probably telling the truth. But you know, he didn't defend her either when he had the chance, so he looked fake as fuck too. And they didn't even have to answer this question, or they could have said no comment, but men are bitches these days. So hey, let me know what you think about that. Now, speaking of Cardi, real quick, sis was back in court earlier this week, so she did start the trial for that man who was suing her for using his tattoo on her debut mixtape, Gangsta Bitch Music, you know, where she was drinking that Corona and a man was giving her oil on the front cover, and the man suing claimed, you know, that it had caused problems in his marriage and where he worked at. And, you know, the person who did that art cover for her mixtape really just found that man's back tat on the internet and photoshopped it onto Cardi's muse that she had used. So I honestly think he should have been compensated something, because, you know, they had no right and no permission to take it without his permission and use it and garnered money off of it. And tattoos are meant to be distinctive. Even police use them as identifying markers when trying to identify someone. So this very well could have caused people, including his wife, to look at him with a side eye at first, because it's his exact, you know, tattoo that he has in the exact same place, and the man's face on the cover can't be seen, so anybody could think, you know, that's him, that's his exact tattoo. So if I saw my nigga's back, or what I thought to be my nigga's back, because it has his distinct tattoos posted up in between the whole legs, damn right I'm gonna be, you know, looking at him all types of crazy. Now, he was trying to get millions. For one, I never thought he was going to get that, nor did I think he deserved that. But Cardi B did take to Twitter yesterday and let it be known that she did win the case and that God is so good. So this is what she tweeted. I just won this lawsuit. I'm so emotional right now. I want to kiss God's feet right now. I'm beyond grateful. Nah, I can't believe I won that lawsuit. It was a good fight. And when I say a good fight, I mean my lawyers and the plaintiff's lawyers were really good. But I had the biggest weapon of them all. God, I'm feeling so blessed. So let me know what you think. All I'm going to say is God don't condone shit like that. Nor does he condone meeting up to fight bitches in the high tower over bullshit, or wishing AIDS on someone's mother, or telling someone to dig up their mother's grave, or post revenge porn, amongst a host of other things you have done. I don't agree with how much people let Cardi get away with things without losing any deals or being held accountable for anything. Like, it's, you know, I know he didn't like deserve millions, but you were wrong for using his likeness and not compensating him for the least. You know, the least she could have did was pay his lawyer fees or something. But as much as Cardi B be in court, I'm gonna need her to get a job up there. She need about 15 days community service, right? She could take her ass right on up there. But, you know, let me know what you think about that below. So the next topic I want to get into is Megan Thee Stallion being shaded by Billboard. Yeah. So Billboard basically did a Grammys write-up about executives being concerned about the state of hip-hop slowing down or being stagnant, because these new artists, you know, that have only been out or mainstream less than 5 years have seemed to have lost their momentum so early on in their career, or have slowed or highly dropped as far as sales go. Roddy Ricch and DaBaby was also mentioned in this article, because, you know, that nigga DaBaby went from first week sales being in the 6 digits to like first week sales being 17K. And, you know, same for Roddy. So Billboard had said this. You know, meanwhile, some of rap's most promising upstarts have seen their fortunes turn quickly. DaBaby's 2020 album, Blame It on Baby, moved 124K. Megan Thee Stallion won the Grammy for Best New Artist, but her Traumazine album did lower first week numbers than her debut, and it hasn't spawned a hit close to Savage. So again, Megan wasn't the only one mentioned, but she was mentioned for a reason. And I believe over time, the hype for Megan Thee Stallion has died down after that situation between her and Tory, because both of them are saying two different things, and we don't really know the full story. And I feel like people within the industry know things that we don't. So certain celebrities, have seemed to have chosen a side or just disassociated themselves with either of them. And Megan does have a reputation for being an opportunist, okay? And she has fallen out with a lot of people. So she was once cool with and has fallen out with a lot of people. And then on top of that, she's fallen out with Nicki Minaj. And, she had Barb's support at the beginning of her career. And Megan's demand has kind of slowed. I mean, it's true. Her last biggest song was WAP. And before that, it was Savage. And both of those songs were in 2020. And it's 2022, okay? I'm just saying. And Megan has dropped, 2 projects and has done plenty of collaborations. So in my opinion, she kind of capitalized off that whole incident with Tory and used that protect black women movement to promote her debut album Good News, which I honestly was not impressed with that album, especially after her previous projects like Fever and Tina Snow, where she went hard, I believe, okay? And I mean, if Tory harmed her, he definitely need to be, doing time, because, that's serious, and Megan don't deserve that regardless of how anyone feel about her. But anyway, Sugar was honestly the last project by Megan I enjoyed. But then you got, the internet support not aligning with her album sales. So, I mean, I just think Megan doesn't have a solid enough fan base on top of the way people see her in regards to her follow-ups of people within the industry. So, and that Tory Lanez situation. But, now speaking of Megan, Nicki Minaj was minding her business talking to her fans last night on Instagram Live. And Tasha K joined the live and took the vibes completely left. I mean, in my opinion, she tried to set my good sis up. So take a listen at this clip.
Sold the house that she rented to Megan Thee Stallion.
Okay.
And so, of course, we're going to say allegedly, just in case some details are wrong. However, that was the same house that Tiana pretty much had to beg for money from, because Megan, the house got vandalized by her people from her showing the house off and stuff like that. So they messed up Tiana's, They messed up Tiana's front yard, backyard. You know what I'm saying? And that Megan rent the house and shit. It's a whole breakdown. So I ain't got the details in front of me, but it's on my live stream. So that's what we was talking about. We weren't talking about you tonight. You ain't break the internet.
Oh,
you
right.
break it every day.
Xavier Minaj
You break it every day.
Abort the mission. Girl. Child, we not even on that craziness, child. We was on here talking about my tea.
Now, talk about a mess. Let me know what you think about that. Personally, I don't know why her messy ass brought up Megan Thee Stallion to Nicki Minaj, knowing they don't fuck with each other like that. I just feel like that was messy, and I just knew when I was watching that people would try to spin it some way, somehow, to place blame on Nicki Minaj. Although Nicki looked confused as hell and probably felt awkward as fuck, which is why she said what she said and changed the subject. Now, do I like that Nicki Minaj is connected to Tasha K? Not really, but she grown and she's Nicki Minaj, so she can do what the fuck she want to do. And it's nothing against Tasha K or anything, because it's because of things like this, though. I just feel that Nicki does not need to be involved in unnecessary mess, and this was unnecessary mess to me. Now, if what Tasha K was saying was even slightly true and Megan owes Tiana some money, that's just sad, and she should probably rectify that, because that can give her a bad look within the industry with her peers if it hasn't already. But as far as her renting, I see nothing wrong with her renting. She's young, she's child free, she's not married, and she travel a lot, so it make more financial sense for her to rent. And on top of all that, it's high as hell to live out in LA. Now, Megan did quickly run to Twitter not too long after Tasha K made these allegations and tweeted weird, which, yeah, it was a little weird for Tasha K to randomly bring up Megan to Nicki Minaj knowing she's an op. So I can't argue with Megan's point on that. However, what is also weird is the fact that Megan Thee Stallion can address things rather quickly when it comes to topics and conversations involving, Nicki Minaj's name connected to hers. However, she has yet to acknowledge Lil' Kim's Plan B remix. Why did you remove it from your YouTube channel, Megan? Why did you not respond to her when she was adding you and mentioning you all night when it dropped, but you could congratulate Glorilla for after she announced that she was dropping the Tomorrow 2 with Cardi, and you reposted it to your IG story? Why have you yet to acknowledge Jonathan blasting you on a diss track on his album, claiming to have clapped your clappers on multiple times the night before you claimed Tory harmed you, Megan? But you can quickly address or subtweet shit when it comes to you being connected with Nicki. I'm just asking. Inquiring minds want to know. Now, Nicki did tweet the teardrop emoji basically saying, bitch, drop a tear. Because what you will not do is put any kind of blame on Nicki, to make her look any type of way when she changed the subject. Because Megan fans were on Twitter, of course, wanting to place blame on Nicki. Now, Megan did, like a tweet from a blogger that actually is a close friend of Cardi B and who has frequently posted Nicki Minaj in a negative light on his platform. So Megan liked a tweet by him that said this: Meg rented from Teyana Taylor for a very short period in 2019 and 2020 and left very early 2020. Teyana just sold her home nearly a month ago. It is not the same home of Meg's that was recently burglarized. Tasha also raised false allegation on Meg's fallout with former stylist E.J. King. Tasha alleged E.J. and Megan fell out due to Meg ruining Teyana's home and owing her. Keep in mind, Megan left the home in early 2020. She was still working with E.J. way past that, and the two actually didn't stop working together until after the toy incident, which took place in July 2020. Well, the Shade Room posted this, and Tasha K commented, and they pinned her response, and Tasha K said this: and tell your minion blogger he got the story wrong. Ain't nobody said nothing about Teyana selling that home because of you. What I said is that she is selling the home she let you rent and damaged. And now that your home was burglarized, she don't care because karma a bitch is what I said. You damaged that lady house. She had to run you down for her bread. EJ suggested you rent out of her home to that lady. On top of that, you trying to skip out on damages and back rent. EJ had to run you down for his $80K and work he did for you. Meg, please. Yeah, you rented the home then, and they both had to run you down for the bread you owed them. She also posted a video response, and this is what she had to say.
To those out there trying to correct the story, there's nothing to really correct. It is what it is. EJ never denied that $80,000, okay? And Teyana's not going to deny that vandalization, and neither did Megan. So, Megan, you can tweet weird all you want. But it's weird that somebody let you stay in their home and they had to come running after you for that motherfucking money. That's weird. That's why nobody ain't fucking with you in the industry now.
So, child, let me know what you think about that. Like I said, I don't know why Tasha K brought this bullshit up to Nicki, but like I say, if anything is slightly true, Megan needs to rectify that situation if she hasn't already, especially since she has fallen out with what seems to be like multiple people within the industry. But honestly, Megan didn't really have to address this, especially if she didn't address Lil' Kim and DaBaby. Why the hell address Tasha K? And the answer is simply because it involves Nicki Minaj, but let me know what you think about that below. Now, the next topic I want to get into is Flo Milli and Latto. So recently, Flo Milli and Latto sat down together for an interview with one another for Rolling Stone, since, they are on the same label, okay? So fans are calling Latto out for something in particular she said, so take a listen to this.
Who knows what artists are dealing with at the time.
We all get discouraged, and then that one little, recognition from somebody, even if it's your peer, if it's someone way bigger than you, that just, re-motivate you. I remember seeing, Cardi saying, she fuck with me. I'm like, what?
Yes. How did that feel, when you first started getting all that?
So let me know what you think about that. Now, I don't know what people expected of Latto. I know y'all wasn't expecting her to say Nicki Minaj's name, she just didn't have a whole public argument with her on Twitter 2 weeks ago, chat. Even though Latto used to name drop Nicki in every interview and was even elated over the fact that Nicki Minaj acknowledged her back in 2020, so much so she had her friend had took it upon themselves to tweet, or frame the tweet and gifted it to Latto, and Latto framed it in her house. So, and you mentioned Nicki was your dream collaboration, so that to me seems like it's a pretty big moment to have someone you looked up to see you and congratulate you and say they love you, and it comes across as disingenuous towards Cardi, in my opinion, for her to constantly now name drop Cardi. So Latto has shown gratitude in the past to Cardi, don't get me wrong, but knowing what we know now after all that Twitter spat, Latto had recently had with Nicki, all that love seems fake, because it seems like you was only tweeting, oh, Cardi supports me in private but love me in public. I love that for me. She tweeted that back in April? So who was shading who? You were only constantly mentioning Cardi as if she is the only one who has shown you love in this industry, and it's making it seem like you are using Cardi's name because you can't or don't want to say Nicki's name no more. But Latto is fake to me, so I wasn't surprised, nor did I feel any type of way when she said Cardi. It's typical. So besides all of that, Flo Milli looks so pretty, and I am a big fan of Flo Milli, and I hope she gets a bigger push, because Flo Milli be having her concerts lit, and her fans actually know the words to her music, and I hope she stay clear of this cattiness within the female rap game right now, because it's on fire. So let me know your thoughts on that below. Now, my last topic I want to get into is IceSpicee and Cardi B. So there is a viral clip of IceSpicee, and you know, this is what she had to say.
If it's stuck, then it's stuck like Cardi. I fuck with her, but you know that I'm a Bobby.
So let me know what you think about that. Now, personally, I'm tired of these bitches saying Nicki's name. I don't think this shit is genuine anymore. I don't, especially since IceSpicee was just partying it up with Cardi and even allowed her to do a remix to her viral song Munch. And though Cardi posted her full verse on Instagram, she wouldn't release it. And now I rightfully see why, because IceSpicee seems to be straddling the fence. And Cardi seemingly responded on her IG story and said, "Stand on it, pussy." You know, I mean, she ain't say pussy, but she put the cat emoji there for a reason, so let's not be dense. But I honestly agree with Cardi. You know, bitch, you was just hee-heeing and ha-haing in my goddamn face. Now you want to play in my face. Ho, pick a side. Now don't straddle the fence. But I honestly feel like this is just her strategic way of keeping a buzz around her name. She want to be an official rap girl when she want to only, you know, have a quick little hit or two, but you know, it's only a moment. You know, for me, I think she's only here for a moment, in my most humble opinion. I'm gonna need her to, you know, work on her craft, build her fan base, and stay out the bullshit. Latto already unfollowed her, you know, because of the whole thing with her going back and forth with Nicki on Twitter a few weeks ago. IceSpicee basically shaded her and was saying Latto basically needs to respect Nicki Minaj since Nicki is older than her. Like, baby, you coming in this game being messy, and you too new for all of that. You got one song, but I don't know. Maybe this is her way of staying in the conversation as it pertains to the rap girlies. Maybe she want to collaborate like the rest of these rap bitches. I don't know, because you know they all want to collab with Nicki. But like I say, y'all let me know your thoughts below. So remember, this is my commentary and my opinion. You can let me know yours below. I look forward to reading your thoughts. Don't forget to give this video that thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Lounge with me on my Twitter and Instagram at Southern Tea. That is with 2 A's at the end. I will see you in my next video.